Okay, so this is the first numerical example, which is taken from the Jail Marian book. So a 10 kilogram um, body is suspended from a spring, a constant K equal 2.5 kilonewton per meter. So uh, mass which is given is 10 kg, and stiffness of the spring is given, which is 2.5 uh, 10 power 3 Newton per meter. So which is 2500 Newton per meter. Okay. At time t equals 0, it has a downward velocity of 0.5 meter per second. So this is initial condition. So at t equals 0, uh, it has a downward velocity of 0.5 meter per second. So v1 is 0.5 meter per second, and as it passes through the equilibrium position, so this means that x1 is equal to 0, because it's the x we measured from the equilibrium position, and it passes from the equilibrium position. So this means that the initial displacement is 0 here. Okay, so determine part A. So we need to calculate the static spring deflection. So you can either represent this by delta static, or you can also represent this by this symbol here. So in different book they use different symbols here, but the main idea is the same. Okay, so in this case we want to calculate the static deflection of this system here. So for this we can draw the free body diagram. So if we attach this mass to the spring, it will deflect, and if we assume that the body will move in this direction here, so this is the okay, so then this will be the force. There are, if you want to draw the free body diagram, so the weight will be in this direction here, and the deflection is obviously in this direction, delta st here. So k delta st, the static deflection times the spring constant is the force in the upward direction, or k delta. So this is the free body diagram, and we know that at this location, or at this position, uh, the body is not moving. So then we can simply say that summation of all the forces, if you consider this is our this positive x here, the summation of all the forces in x direction equal to mx double dot, and it is stationary now, so it will have no acceleration, so the acceleration is 0. Then we can say that k delta st equal to mg. This will be the only force, or if you take this mg positive here, so if you can take this as positive, this will be negative, so this will equal to 0, or k delta st is equal to mg, or you can calculate the static deflection, which will be mg divided by k. So mg here is 10, and then you have g, which is 9.81, and then you have 2500. So it will become 0.0392 meter. So this will be the static deflection of the spring here. And this is our part B. In part B, what we need to calculate the natural frequency of a system in both radian per second, which is omega n, and in cycle per second, which is fn. So now you need to calculate omega n and Fn. So to calculate omega n, we know the equation of omega n, which is just k divided by m under the root, and which you can write is 2500 divided by 10. So this become equal to 15.81 radian per second. And now if you want to calculate the Fn, which is the frequency but in cycle per second, so if you want to convert the radian into cycles, you will just divide this by 2 pi. So this become 2.52 cycles per second, or which is also you can say is hertz. Okay, so this is part B. In part C, now you need to calculate the system period here. So C is you need to calculate tau. So tau is just equal to 1 over Fn. So 1 divided by 2.52, which become equal to 0.397 seconds. Okay, in part D, the displacement x is a function of time, where x is measured from the position of the static equilibrium. And now we know that the equation for x, so x was v1 divided by omega n. This is the x that we derived in the theory part. So omega nt plus x1 cos omega nt. So this is the equation for the displacement as a function of time. And here, because from the initial condition at t equals 0, we are given v1, which is 0.5, and x1, which is 0. So from here we can calculate x here. So x can be calculated as v1. So v1 divided by omega n. So v1 is 0.5, and omega n is this 15.81. You will use the value in the radian per second, and then sine 15.81 t, and then x1 is 0, so then plus 0. You can simplify this equation here. So this will become 0.0316 sine 15.81 t. So this is the equation for the x, which is a function of time here. Okay, now in part E, you need to calculate the maximum velocity v maximum attained by the mass. So you need to calculate the maximum velocity now. So velocity is, you can calculate, is a function of time when you differentiate this x with respect to time. If you differentiate this x with respect to time, so which will become 0.5 cos 15.81 t. Okay, so in this case, you want to calculate the maximum value. Now, obviously, in this case, this cos is changing with time. So if you change the time, this cos is changing because time is here. So now, for the maximum value, of cos theta is 1. So V is maximum when cos 15.81 t is equal to 1. So when this thing is 1, so then the V is maximum. This means that the x dot maximum or V maximum is just equal to 0.5 meter per second. So when this cos 15.81 t become equal to 1, And finally, in the part F, the maximum acceleration, a maximum attained by the mass. So again, you will need to differentiate this equation with respect to time, so which is a or x double dot, and this will become minus 7.91 sine 15.81 t. And now again, you need to calculate the maximum acceleration. So maximum acceleration is when sine 15.81 t is equal to 1, then a is equal to a maximum. So this means that a maximum will be equal to minus 7.91. So this minus is just about the direction. So meter per second square. So this is the maximum acceleration.